Hello everyone, my name is Ashkan and I wanted to make a tutorial to show how to use this OSG cluster monitoring repository that I've been working on. So basically the idea here is that it's kind of difficult to have a centralized place to gather resource usage statistics about your compute cluster. And instead of basically going around and deploying everything manually, this repository allows you to deploy LDMS, which is a library to do all this monitoring, and deploy this software on all of your compute nodes, and then aggregate all that info into a centralized place, which you can then plug into Python or whatever that you need. So the cool thing with LDMS is that it has modules for monitoring different things about your system. So it has a module for monitoring your GPU, it has one for monitoring your memory, it has one for your CPU, so on and so forth. But in this repository, we're only using these two modules just to keep it simple. And the other thing is that I just didn't have enough time to add the DCGM module, which monitors the GPU. But I think for now to start with, this is, I think, a good start. So, okay, enough backstory. Let's actually get started with the tutorial itself. So the first thing that you want to do is to clone the GitHub repository. I believe most people here know how to do that. And once you have cloned it, you basically follow these steps. Obviously, since this is a tutorial, I'm not just going to show you the steps, but I'm actually going to do it. So the first thing that you want to do is to do a Docker on your aggregator node. So just quick note, your aggregator node can't be a compute node. So I think it would be best if you use your login node as the aggregator, because the login node in most cases isn't doing any computation. Okay, coming back to the tutorial. So the first thing that you want to do is to pick a node that you want to do the aggregation on, and on that node you do a Docker swarm init. If you're already in a swarm, you will have to leave that swarm because Docker only allows one swarm at a time. So I'm just going to do Docker swarm leave force. Great, so I'm not in that swarm anymore. So I'm going to do a Docker swarm init. It's going to give me a bunch of messages, but what matters here is this line. So you want to copy this line and then add this, basically paste this line into every single compute node that you want included in this swarm. So here I'm using my home lab as an example. So it's as easy as just pasting it here. Okay, I need to leave the swarm here as well. Docker swarm leave. Okay, now I'm just going to paste it. And great. We have my home lab added to the swarm. So before you move on, if you want to check if all your compute nodes are in the swarm, you can do a Docker node ls. And as you can see, I have XPS, which is my laptop, as the leader of the swarm, and then home lab, which is what I just added here as a worker. So this system is going to treat everything that is not your leader as the as a compute node. So once you've done that, then from this point it's pretty easy. All you have to do is to come back to your leader node or aggregator node and just run bash setup.sh. Then it will do a bunch of stuff in the background, which you can check in the code, and it will deploy an aggregator image on the current node and a sampler image on all the other nodes. So once this is done, you can verify that it's working by doing a Docker swarm ls. Docker stack ls. So we have an LDMS stack running And usually if you see these as well, these converged messages, you're good to go anyway. So as this monitoring system is running, it will put all the aggregated data in this directory called storage. So if we go there, we're going to see two directories, one for each metric. So we have a memory metrics and we have a systems metrics. So here, if you can't access these two directories, you will have to do a chmod on them. The reason for this is that because the containers that are running this system run everything as root, the files that will be created in storage at the beginning are going to be owned by root. So you will not have access to view them by default. The solution here is to basically do a chmod when you're in storage. So since I am in storage, I can run this. And you will have to do sudo because it's owned by root. And once that's done, you will have access. So in here, you're going to see what is a CSV file. It doesn't have the extension, but it is a CSV file. And if we do a tail-f meminfo on this, you can see that it's streaming all the data from the compute nodes that we have into this file. And since this is a CSV file, you can plug it into any other interface that you want, and you can use Python to draw nice charts from it. There are still some things I need to work on, especially regarding how we differentiate the different nodes in the compute cluster. But at least with one node and one compute node and one aggregator node, this is how it looks. I'll probably make a separate video covering how it will work on multiple compute nodes. But yeah, so you can see the CSV here. If you go back, if we go to the other one, you can see the other one here as well. It's pretty similar. If we do a tail-f, that you're going to see the data as it streams. So notice how it's changing constantly. And that's pretty much it. The final thing that I want to talk about is how to basically stop this monitoring system. Since this is a Docker swarm stack, stopping it is as simple as doing docker stack rm and then the name. So in this case, since I know that the name is LDMS, I'm just going to put LDMS. But in case you ever need to make sure, you just do a docker stack ls. So now I'm just going to delete it. Docker stack rm LDMS, and it's going to remove the containers and the network. And if you do a docker ps now or a docker stack ls, it will be gone. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. You can find my email on my GitHub profile. And yeah, thanks for watching.